Flaunt of the sunshine I need, not your bask, lie over. You light surfaces only, I force surfaces, and depths also. Earth, you seem to look for something at my hands. Say, old top nor, what do you want? Man or woman, I might tell how I like you, but cannot, and might tell what it is in me and what it is in you, but cannot, and might tell that pinning I have, that pearls of my nights and days. Behold, I do not give lectures or a little charity. When I give myself. You there, impotent, loose in the knees, open his scarfed chops till I blow great within you. Spread your palms and lift the flaps of your pockets. I am not to be denied. I compel. I have stones plenty and to spare, and anything I have I bestow. I do not ask who you are. That is not important to me. You can do nothing and be nothing but what I will enfold you. To cotton field drudge or cleaner of privies, I lean. On his right cheek I put the family kiss, and in my soul I swear I never will deny him. On woman fit for conception I start bigger and nimbler babes. This day I am jetting the stuff of far more arrogant republics. To any one dying, thither I speed and twist the knob of the door, turn the bedclothes toward the foot of the bed, let the physician and the priest go home. I seize the descending man and raise him with resistless will. O dispenser, here is my neck. By God, you shall not go down. Hang your whole weight upon me. I dilate you with tremendous breath. I buoy you up. Every room of the house do I fill with an armed force, lovers of me, bafflers of graves. Sleep, I and they keep guard all night. Not doubt, not disease shall dare to lay finger upon you. I have embraced you and henceforth possess you to myself. And when you rise in the morning, you will find what I tell you is so. I am he bringing help for the sick as they bend on their backs. And for a strong upright man I bring yet more needed help. I heard what was said of the universe, heard it and heard it of several thousand years. It is middling well as far as it goes, but is that all? Magnifying and applying come I, outbidding at the start the old cautious hucksters, taking myself the exact dimensions of Jehovah, lithographing Kronos, Zeus his son, and Hercules his grandson, buying drafts of Osiris, Isis, Pallas, Brahma, Buddha. In my portfolio, placing many to lose Allah on a leaf, the crucifix engraved, with Odin and the hideous-faced Mexitli, and every idol and image, taking them all for what they are worth, and not a cent more, admitting they were alive and did the work of their days. They bore mites as for unfledged birds who have now to rise and fly and sing for themselves, accepting the rough deific sketches to feel out better in myself, bestowing them freely on each man and woman I see, discovering as much as more in a framer framing a house, putting higher claims for him there with his rolled up sleeves, driving the mallet and chisel, not objecting to special revelations, considering a curl of smoke or a hair on the back of my hand just as curious as any revelation. Lads a hold of fire engines and hook and ladder, ropes no less to me than the girls of the antique wars. Minding their voices peal through the crash of destruction, their bravely limbs passing safe over charred laths, their white foreheads whole and unhurt out of the flames, by the mechanic's wife with her babe at her nipple, interceding for every person born. Three skies at harvest whizzing in a row from three lusty angels with shirts bagged out at their waist. The snag-toothed hostler with rare redeeming scenes past and to come, selling all he possesses, travelling on foot to fee lawyers for his brother and sit by him while he is tried for forgery. What was strewn in the amplest string, the square rod about me, and not feeling the square rod then. The bull and the bug never worshipped half enough. Tongue and dirt more admirable than was dreamed. The supernatural of no account, myself waiting my time to be one of the supremes. The day getting ready for me when I shall do as much good as the best and be as prodigious. By my life plumbed, becoming already a creator, putting myself here and now to the ambushed warmth of the shadows. A call in the midst of the crowd, my own voice, a returned sweeping and final. Come, my children, come, my boys and girls, my women, household, and intimates. Now the performer launches his nerve. He has passed his prelude on the reeds within. Easily written, loose-fingered chords, I feel the thrum of your climax and close. My head slews round on my neck. Music rolls, but not from the organ. Folks are around me, but they are no household of mine. Ever the hard, unsung ground, ever the eaters and drinkers, ever the upward and downward sun, ever the air and the ceaseless tides, ever myself and my neighbors, refreshing, wicked, real, ever the old inexplicable query, ever that third thumb, that breath of itches and thirst, ever the vexers hoot, hoot, till we find where the sly ones hides and bring him forth, ever love, ever the sopping liquid of life, ever the bandage under the chin, ever the trestless of death, here and there with times on the eyes, walking to feed the greed of the belly, the brains liberally spooning, tickets buying, taking, selling, but into the feast never once going, many sweating, plowing, threshing, and then the shaft for payment receiving, a few idly owning, and they the wheat continually claiming. This is the city, and I am one of the citizens. Whatever interests the rate interests me. Politics, wars, markets, newspapers, schools, the mayor and councils, banks, tariffs, steamships, factories, stocks, stores, real estate, and personal estate. The little plentiful mannequins skipping around in collars and tailcoats. I am aware who they are. They are positively not worms or fleas. I acknowledge the duplicates of myself. The weakest and shallowest is deathless with me. What I do and say the same waits for them. Every thought that flunders in me, the same flunders in them. I know perfectly well my own egotism, know my omnivorous lines and must not write any less, and would fetch you whoever you are flush with myself. Not words of routine this song of mine, but abruptly to question, to leap beyond yet nearer bring this printed and bound book, but the printer and the printing office boy, the well taken photographs, but your wife or friend close and solid in your arms, the black ship mailed with iron, her mighty guns in her turrets, but the pluck of the captain and engineers. In the houses, the dishes and fare and furniture, but the host and hostess and the look out of their eyes, the sky up there, yet here or next door or across the way, the saints and sages in history, but you yourself. Sermons, creeds, theology, but the fathomless human brain, and what is reason, and what is love, and what is life. I do not despise you, praise, all time, the world over. My faith is the greatest of faiths and the least of faiths, including worship ancient and modern, and all between ancient and modern, believing I shall come again upon the earth after 5,000 years, waiting responses from oracles, honoring the gods, saluting the sun, making a fetish of the first rock or stump, bowing with sticks in the circle of obis, helping the Lama or Brahmin as he trims the lamps of the idols, dancing yet through the streets in a phallic procession, wrapped and austere in the woods, a gymnosophist, drinking mead from the skull cup to Shastras and Vedas, admiring minding the Quran, walking the teocallis spotted with gore from the stone and knife, beating the serpent skin drum, accepting the Gospels, accepting Him that was crucified, knowing assuredly that He is divine, to the Mass kneeling or the Puritan's prayer, rising or sitting patiently in a pew, ranting and frothing in my insane crisis, or waiting dead like till my spirit rouses me, looking forth on pavement and land, or outside of pavement and land, belonging to the windows of the circuit of circuits, one of that centripetal and centrifugal gang. I turn and tug like a man leaving charges before a journey. Downhearted doubters, dull and excluded, frivolous, sullen, moping, angry, affected, disheartened, atheistical. I know every one of you. I know the sea of torment, doubt, despair, and unbelief. How the flux splash, how they contour rapid as lightning with spasms and spouts of blood. Be at peace, bloody flukes of doubters and sullen moppers. I take my place among you as much as among any. The past is the push of you, me, all precisely the same. And what is yet untried and afterward is for you, me, all precisely the same. I do not know what is untried and afterward, but I know it will in its turn prove sufficient and cannot fail. Each who passes is considered, each who stops is considered. Not a single one can it fail. It cannot fail the young man who died and was buried, nor the young woman who died and was put by his side, nor the little child that peeped in at the door and then drew back and was never seen again, nor the old man who has lived without purpose and feels it with bitterness worse than gall, nor him in the poor house tubercled by rum and the bad disorder, nor the numberless slaughtered and raked, nor the pretty scaboo called the order of humanity, nor the sacks merely floating with open mouths for food to sleep in, nor anything in the earth or down in the oldest graves of the earth, nor anything in the myriads of spheres, nor the myriads that inhabit them, nor the present, nor the least wisp that is known.